things off with Kristin MacRae from Organizing in Rhode Island. Kristin, how you doing
Hi,
today?
Molly. How are you?
Good. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So you help people get organized and energized.
Yes.
And today we are helping people find more time, because that's always what we hear, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have time to meet you for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have time to take care of the kids. Like, that's always what you hear, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even, they might have the time, but it's not a priority. So think about how many times you say, I don't have time, but you just don't feel like doing it. That's a big one. Yeah, you know? So think about that as going forward with when you say to somebody, I don't have time.
So let's talk a little bit about this, because you told me there's a difference between not having time or being busy,
right,
and
productive.
So what's the difference between those two?
So being busy, you're at the end of the day, you sit down and say, what did I do today? I don't know what I did today, because you were running around, bouncing around from task to task, not finishing tasks, leaving things unfinished, running errands at all different areas of the state, but not really getting much done. So your to-do list really not much got done. So you're just busy. It's not organized. You're kind of working in chaos. Productive is you wake up in the morning, you have structure, you're checking things off your to-do list, you're in one area of the state getting things done, you're finishing tasks, you're not getting distracted. If you do, you're getting right back on task. That's being productive, basically getting stuff done. Where busy, you still, at the end of the day, you're like, I don't know what I did today. The day got away from me, kind of thing. And there was no structure. It was kind of chaotic. So
okay.
That's the difference there.
So, and there really is a difference. I mean, I feel like some people just like to be busy, right?
Yeah,
some people just like to fill up their day.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, you know, what do? They don't have anything to account for what they did. I mean, they do, but it's not anything substantial that they could check off their to-do list or say, I'm so happy I got this done. So yeah, some people like to be busy, and that's fine. So this is for people who want to be productive and want to find more time in their day and really want to make a difference in their day and have that free time at the end of the day or the end of the week.
So you can do those extra things that you think you don't have time for, like meeting up with friends.
Yeah, the fun stuff. Yeah, that's where you want to save that extra time for, that fun stuff at the end of the week. Yes.
So, I don't have time to do the extracurriculars. Well, we're going to help you find that time, because there is.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have a really neat strategy to help people find time, and it all comes with doing a little bit extra work.
It is. It's a 7-day exercise, but you have to put the work in. So like anything else, whether you're starting a weight loss regimen or starting like a routine at the gym, it's a great time to do all this because the fall, it's kind of like your new year.
Yeah, I like it.
So this is a great time to actually sit down for 7 days, and we're going to talk about how to proceed with this little exercise, but you have to put the work in. Again, it's not going to be easy. If you want this free time, you have to work for it. It's going to be tough initially just to get this exercise taken care of, but then you're going to be all set going forward of finding that free time. But you got to put the work in to actually figure out how to get started.
Okay, and I like it. I think that's good. So you want us, so what essentially do you want us to do?
So
it's kind of like a journal,
Yeah,
right?
basically. I want, just like if anybody out there who has a food journal, like I keep a food journal, some people keep a food diary, any type of journal, it's the same thing. It's only for 7 days. I want you to just grab 7 pieces of paper or your electronics, whatever works for you, and just for 7 days, I want you to write the days of the week on top of each paper, Sunday through Saturday, and then we're going to start. What we're going to go through next is 7 things that I want you to do this week. I think it's 7 or maybe it's 5.
7.
That you're going to do during this time to help you get started. So the first thing is you're going to get either a little notebook or you're going to get some pieces of paper, jot down the days of the week on those pieces of paper.
Okay, so you just grab 7 sheets of paper, label them, all that kind of good stuff.
Yes.
And I think this is a great exercise. And again, it might not be easy, but you know, you do it when you wake up or do it when you go to bed, whatever.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so this is what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Log your time on social media, you said.
It's a big one. So for day 1, say it's Sunday, document from beginning to end when you're on social media. And again, this is going to take time, but just remember, it's just for 7 days, just to see where we're at, just as a baseline. Log your time on social media. You log into Twitter, you log into Facebook, you log into any social, Pinterest. That's a big time zone for a lot of people.
Yeah. I just avoid that altogether because there's a rabbit hole.
Exactly. So the minute you have your piece of paper next to you, the minute you log on, put your time. The minute you sign off, put your time. And that's it. That's it for social media. For every day of that week, I want you to do that for social media.
Okay. And so, do you count that for work? Because sometimes people do that for, like,
if you're
at my
work,
job, I have to be on social media.
No, that's a little different because you're at work and you should have that structure at work and your to-do list and what you're doing at work. So, what you're doing at work. So, no, I would use this for, like, time at night or in the morning when you could be doing more productive things. So this is more for like at home, like when you're kind of just lounging around.
You know, if you're whatever's cooking on the stove,
yeah,
scrolling.
exactly. So leave out work for now, and then when you want to get structured at work, then we reevaluate your time management at work and see what you're doing.
Okay, all right. So social media. Next thing, log your time spent running errands.
Okay, so you have errands to run. Monday you have to be in Cranston for a doctor's appointment. So this is when your to-do list come in handy for the rest of the week when you're planning out your week, because you can see where you need to be, what you have to do. So if you have to be in Cranston for a doctor's appointment, think about any other errands that you need to run in Cranston, whether it's going to the pet store or going to the supermarket or run into Garden City in Cranston. Think about if your errands are all over the place all week and you're wasting time bouncing around, or if you're actually structured and you know where you have to be during the week and you're basing your errands around that. So every day, see where you're running your errands and see if actually you shouldn't have run an errand on Monday, but you should have done it on Tuesday when you're actually in Cranston. So now you're not bouncing to that same city twice in 1 week.
Or if you can, if you can restructure what you're doing around one trip.
And that helps on Fridays when you're making your to-do list for the week. When you're working with your actual to-do list, that's when you see where you have those pockets of time and where you're going to be, and that's how you fill it in. But yeah, so that's the second one.
And then you said evaluate your email process, and I like this one because we did that whole segment on email.
Yes, we did a big segment on email. So this is a little one, but again, throughout the day, think about how many times you're checking your email. Are you checking your email a lot? Think about how many times you're going back and forth with somebody on email because you've just picked up the phone. We talked about that on email, so you can go back to the video with email and kind of get a refresher there and about email. So think about what you're doing with email throughout the day.
Okay, and then jot that down. Go over your email process every day. Are you checking it 500 times a day? Are you checking it just once a day? You know, maybe you need to be more efficient on email.
Exactly, yeah. And you could be saying, oh, this is going to be stupid, this little exercise. What am I doing? This is going to waste time. No, trust me. This is a good habit to get into just to see at the end of the 7 days, you might be like, oh my God, epiphany, like, what have I been doing with my time?
Yeah.
So, and you might say all these little things that we're talking about, big deal, but they really add up at the end of the week.
Yeah,
they really do.
You could get an extra 3 hours out of your day.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, so the next one is how often do you get distracted? Now go into this for me.
All right, so how often do you get distracted? So think about...
What? Oh, what's over there?
It's very hard in this room. Can I just tell you, there's people walking by, and it's very distracting just like standing there watching people walk by. But anyway, I'm looking at the red awnings over there, so it's really easy to get distracted. But think about in your day, how many times you do get distracted. You're working on a task and you get pulled away from that task, but then you don't go back to that task, you start something else. So think about how many times you're getting pulled away from things throughout the day and how many tasks aren't actually, like with laundry. Are you getting pulled away but not finishing that last part of folding it? Are you washing the dishes but not getting to dry them because you got pulled away? Be conscious of when you're getting distracted and what's distracting you, and I want you to write that down too, like the big distractions in your day, and think about how you can improve on those ones. We'll talk about at the end how you can learn from this experiment, but think about when you get distracted, like what's distracting you and how you can stay on task and stay focused. And maybe there's something on TV, but maybe shut the TV off when you're washing dishes, or maybe so you don't get pulled in that room. So that kind of thing, just little distractions here and there. You know what your distractions are, how you get pulled, the kids are calling you, whatever it may be. But remember what you were working on before that and how important it was to actually finish that task.
Okay. And then you also said, are you disorganized? So how do we not note that down?
So I want you to, that's
just a big fat yes on
every page. Yeah, that's pretty much are you living in chaos? So on your daily sheets, I just want you to walk around your house. Even at the top of this, you could put on each day, I'm walking in this room and it's chaos. The kids' room's a chaos. It's disorganized. So just the disorganization alone is going to zap your time, because I want you to think about how many times you're going to look for things throughout the day.
Okay.
How many times, I know you're getting pulled away, but being disorganized is a huge time zap. So and you know yourself that when you're disorganized, you're looking for things, you're forgetting where things are, you're touching 5 things before you get to the one that you really need. Again, all these little things add up. So even on the top of each, or just at the beginning of the week, just write, own up to it. Yeah, I'm disorganized and I'm living in chaos. Own it and just...
Like how long it took you to find the cooler because you're going on a picnic, or how long it took you to find the kids' shoes or something like that.
Exactly, their homework or whatever it is, just in a drawer you're looking for a pen for them for the next day. How many times how many duplicate items are you buying? How many times are you running off to the store when you don't need to because you could have found it in your organized home, but because your home's disorganized, you would run out to the store to buy duplicate items.
Okay. All right. So that's what you mean by are you disorganized?
Yeah.
And then we had 6. We didn't have 7.
Sorry.
But that's okay. Well, at least I don't know. Do you have any routines?
So structure. That's what we're looking for at the end of this. We want structure. And again, this might not be for you. You might say, I don't want structure in my life. Hey, if you like living this way, it's fine. Nobody's telling you have to live this way. But it's for those people who say, I want more time in my day. This is who this is for. So structure, routines. What are you doing in the morning when you get up? Is it breakfast? Is it pre-made from the night before? Or your lunch is pre-made? Are your snacks pre-made for the kids? Structure in your day. Like, what are you doing this afternoon on your to-do list? Like, just having structure so you're not flying by the seat of your pants every day. And then what happens with that is you get overwhelmed with everything you have to do, and then nothing gets done. So that happens a lot with people who are overwhelmed. There's too much to do. They're not organized with their to-do list. And they just say, I can't wrap my head around this day. It's just too overwhelming. So, I'm going to sit on the couch and go to Pinterest all day while the laundry piles up and things in the house pile up and everything that needs to get done kind of falls to the wayside. So think about having structure in your day. So as you're doing your daily work for that week, I want you to think about, do you have structure? Is there structure in your day? And if there's not, this at the end of this exercise is where we're going to find you that structure.
And just see where things can go in, and even if you just have those kind of like bare bones, like this is what's already set up, and then you can fill in the break or move to the next day, whatever that is.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so once we've done this for the week, we have our 7 sheets of paper, we're going over that looking, what do we do next?
So now I want you to look at each day separately, and I want you to see what you did for that day, and if you actually wasted time during that day, if you were overwhelmed at any point, and even make notes on this, like how you were feeling that day. If you were overwhelmed or if you felt good that day, make some notes. But I want you to think about now, okay, maybe you were doing laundry on one day, but it needed to be done another day. I want you to look at, like you said, pockets in your day where you could have added things, or what you did that structure that you need, maybe running those errands on one day when you were running them all over the place, all over the state, when you could have just been one day running those errands. So I want you to just take a look at that, and now look at your to-do list for the week ahead. Get that to-do list going and say, okay, I know laundry's going to be on a Thursday, but I have a pocket from 2 to 3 where I can run errands, or that it's going to give you a better outlook on how you're functioning on a whole in your week and where you can find pockets and structure. And the first step, getting it onto paper and realizing where you are and how you're functioning is huge. And then the easy part is going to be creating those to-do lists every week and plugging those things in. And remember, are you busy or are you being productive? You're going to see that on those 7 days of what's going on. And again, is it something that's not a priority that you're doing, or are you just saying you don't have the time? I mean, do you have the time, or you just don't feel like doing it? I've done that a lot. I've said lately, like these past few years, I've asked myself when I say I don't have time, it's not that I don't have time, I just don't feel like doing it. I just don't feel like doing it.
So it's an easy way out of things. I don't have time.
Yeah, when you say that, it makes you realize, well, did I not have time to go to the gym, or did I not want to go to the gym? So I kind of reframe the way I'm thinking with that, and that helps a little bit too with how your day goes.
Okay. And so I think this is an exercise too for people that can feel overwhelmed. Sometimes you get in that negative mindset that maybe when you're looking at this, it almost makes you feel worse. Is there a way to go about this when you do look at that and maybe you do feel overwhelmed and you look at that? Is there a way to look into it and make yourself feel okay about making a positive change and maybe not feel so down and out?
Yeah, well, I think it's the same way you look at weight loss, remember. Okay. So same way that you're starting a diet and you say, my God, I have to eat healthy, I'm never going to be able to do this, I have to go buy all these healthy foods and I don't know how I'm going to work it into my day. It's the same kind of mentality. So if you ever start a weight loss program, I want you to think of it the same way. Break the process down. Okay. Remember, take it one day at a time. So you have that Sunday, you have one day to do all these things that we talked about. Just focus on Sunday. Then Monday comes, focus on Monday. I always say too, when people write to-do lists out, don't write everything down that you used to do for the entire year on one list, because it's too overwhelming and you're not going to do it. So with this, just break the process down. one thing at a time, one day at a time, and that way you'll feel better. You won't be as overwhelmed. It's when you kind of gap everything together and say, I have all this stuff to do, that nothing gets done. So break the process down.
Yeah, because you can get very overwhelmed, and it shouldn't be something where you feel bad about yourself or you feel bad about your life.
No, not at all. This is a positive thing that you're doing for yourself, and you have to work through this process. You can't just like snap your fingers and get organized if you've never been organized before. So it's a positive experience. Take it one day at a time. It's not, don't get down on yourself. It's not going to be the end of the world if you fail a little bit. You'll just pick yourself back up and move to another day. So yeah, it's a positive thing.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It will.
And to help you get organized, you have planners.
Planner, yes.
So 2018, these are awesome. They're beautiful. We've talked about them before.
Yes.
They're on sale now. Tell us a little quickly about them. And you don't have too many left.
No, I only have about 20-something left. They're going quickly. You can go on my website, organizingandri.com. All the information's there. Our videos are there talking about it. Basically what it is, it's a weekly calendar, and every week has a pocket. So it contains everything that you need for that week to do. When you flip to that week, everything that you need to do is going to be there. So no paper stuck to the fridge anymore, nothing stuck all over the house. You can clip your appointment cards right to the front for that week. So it contains the paper, gets rid of the mental clutter, and I've only made 75 for this year, and I only have like about 20 left, 20-something left. So,
and they're really cute.
Yeah, so you can get them on my website, organizingandri.com. Go to my Facebook page, Organizing and RI. There's a link there to it. There's links all over the place. So, and some have prints with solids, some have all prints, and I have 3 left that are just dark colored. And next year, not next year, believe it or not, for 2019, I'm working on a new picture. I want to get the cover prettier and do a couple of different things. So I'm already working.
Yeah, exactly. She's that far ahead for 2019. All right,
get ahead of the game.
Kristin MacRae from Organizing in RI. Thanks so much for helping us save time, save money, get more organized, and become more efficient. So hopefully we helped you save a little bit of time today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Molly.